Welcome to my next Lost. Season 3 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important if you aren't caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching Lost, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, I've already seen the show Lost 3 different times. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I want to rewatch it and let it resonate. But I'm not the only one that's currently watching Lost. The legendary Crazy Coffee Man, who you see in my comment section for Dexter, Lucifer, Dexter Original Sin, and Breaking Bad, is actually watching Lost for the very first time. He's in for a treat, that's for sure. So join us on the journey and let's discuss this awesome and amazing show. I don't want to see any spoilers in the comment section past this episode. So with all that said, this will be Lost, Season 3, Episode 11. The title of this episode is called Enter 77, and this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watch the episode. Sawyer finds Hurley and some of the other survivors building a ping pong table from materials found in the Swan remains, or the hatch. He asks Hurley if he has seen Kate. Sawyer sees Paulo, who he calls Zorro, and, of course, Paulo calls him Hillbilly. But Paulo's carrying a guns and ammo magazine and confronts him. Paulo says that they share things now and that Sawyer can have it, but Sawyer realizes it has become bathroom reading and gives up. Sayid confronts John Locke about their plan to use the heading of 305 from Echo's stick to navigate. Locke argues that it is all they have to go on. Sayid goes to find fruit and hears a cowbell and finds the cow, and Sayid is amazed to hear someone whistle for the animal. Through the bushes, he spies a shed-like building with a satellite dish on top. Outside is a horse and the same man with an eye patch that Sayid had saw on the Pearl video feed, the surveillance feed. Sawyer approaches the group, putting together the ping pong table, and offers a wiffle golf ball. He tells them that he wants his stash back, but that he's willing to play them for it. Sawyer calls Hurley Avalanche. That's pretty funny. Sun tells Sawyer that if he loses, he can't call anyone by a nickname for an entire week. An entire week of no nicknames for Sawyer? How can he live? As he called Jian and Sun Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Sayid confirms to the group that the building is isolated and that a satellite dish like that could broadcast for thousands of miles. He asks Danielle Russo if it is the radio tower that she talked about, but she says she has never seen this place before. Sayid says he will approach unarmed with the other three as backup in hiding. Danielle Russo says that she had survived on the island for so long by avoiding such confrontations and will wait for them by the stream. Then we go to our flashback of the episode, the start of it. It's featuring Sayid. He's chopping vegetables in a kitchen of a restaurant in Paris. A waiter enters calling him Nahiv and tells him in Arabic that a man outside is waiting for him. Sayid goes to the outdoor dining area, and a man sitting at a table compliments Sayid's cooking and introduces himself as Sammy. He asks where Sayid is from, and when Sayid claims he is Syrian, Sammy says that he can tell that they are actually both Iraq. He offers Sayid the position of chef at his restaurant. So, back on the island, Sayid approaches the building with his hands in the air. He notices the saddle on the horse and the cat sitting on the work table. He is shot in the arm by a character named Mikhail, who points his gun through an open window. The same guy that's wearing the eye patch, by the way, shouting at Sayid that he didn't cross the line. that he had a truce and that this is his land. Kate has to be restrained by Locke. Sayid says that he isn't who Mikhail thinks he is, that his plane crashed and he's unarmed. Mikhail comes out wearing a Dharma jumpsuit with a flame logo patch. Locke and Kate rush in and force him to drop his gun. He introduces himself as Mikhail. I can't remember how to pronounce the last name, so I'm not giving it a try. As the last surviving member of the Dharma Initiative. Mikhail and Kate help Sayid to the couch inside. Mikhail offers to help with Sayid's wound, having spent some time in the Soviet army in Afghanistan getting field medical experience. Mikhail asks Kate to get a medical kit from the kitchen and starts to treat Sayid. Mikhail says that he grew up in Kiev and joined the Soviet army. He was stationed at a listening post. His unit was decommissioned when the Cold War ended, and he later replied to a newspaper advertisement that read, "Would you like to save the world?" He joined the very secretive, rich, and smart Dharma Initiative and came to the island 11 years ago. He was put in this station called the Flame, which is there to communicate with the outside world. He says that everyone else in the Dharma Initiative died in a foolish attack they called the Purge on a group called the Hostiles. Mikhail survived by not getting involved and agreeing to a truce where he could stay behind as long as he did not cross a designated line around the valley, so he will be safe. He says that they weren't interested in the satellite dish because it hadn't functioned in years. He doesn't know who the Hostiles are, but they were on the island for a very long time before the initiative or anyone else came. Back to our flashback. Sayid goes to Sammy's restaurant, and Sammy introduces his wife, Amira, who holds his hands, revealing burn scars on her arm. One of the men present grabs Sayid's arm, and after a struggle, the rest hold him down, and Sammy knocks Sayid unconscious with a kick to the head. Back to the island, Sayid is unsettled when Mikhail calls his cat Nadia, the name of the woman who is the love of Sayid's life. The cat is similar to Amira's cat, though Mikhail claims he told the cat to be polite. He actually tells it to let the carpet alone. He says the name. He named his cat after the world famous Romanian Olympian gymnast Nadia Komentsika. I don't know how to say the last name. Her poster is on the wall, and Mikhail says that they share the same birthday. Mikhail removes the bullet and stitches Sayid's shoulders. He offers his guests iced tea and goes to fetch the drinks. Sayid and Kate quickly converse, and Sayid is adamant that he believes Mikhail is actually an elder, but that they should play along, as he noticed that the horse outside was saddled for someone smaller, judging by the height of the stirrups, indicating that there is another person somewhere nearby. Mikhail enters the computer room, telling John Locke that the computer's chess game is too difficult to beat because it cheats. Locke disagrees and claiming that computers cannot cheat. Cheating is something that makes humans uniquely wonderful. Hurley steps up as Sawyer's opponent. Sawyer calls Hurley Grimace, so we have him as Avalanche and Grimace in this episode. He says if Sawyer wants to play with the mercy rule, if the score is 11-0, the leader automatically wins. And Sawyer agrees and offers him first serve. Hurley wins the first point with considerable ease to the cheers of the spectators. Mikhail brings them iced tea, and Sayid asks more questions about the initiative. Mikhail reveals that the Flame Station is a communications hub with wires running underground to the other stations on the island. One cable runs into the ocean, leading to an underwater beacon that guides submarines to the island. He suspects the Hostiles have destroyed or commandeered one. He seems surprised to hear that Sayid's group had a sailboat, but that it was taken by the others. When Sayid tries to get a reaction by mentioning killing another, Mikhail drops his ruse and attacks Sayid and Kate. They struggle, and Mikhail is subdued with Kate pointing a rifle at him. Locke comes in with his pistol. Back to our flashback, Saeed wakes up on the floor of a locked room with his hands chained. Sammy enters and gives him a bowl of water, which he gulps, quickly. He asks Saeed if he was a torturer in the Republican Guard and whether he recognizes his wife as one of his victims. He says Amira was held in question for 3 months for harboring an enemy of the state. Saeed admits to everything except knowing his wife, but Sammy states that she recognized Saeed when she saw him at the restaurant. Sammy tells Saeed that he must admit to his crimes or he will be killed. Back to the island, they tie up Mikhail while Saeed explains his theory that the others sent someone else to the station because they lost communications when the sky turned purple. Locke thinks the station is empty, but Saeed lifts the rug and reveals a hatch door. Back to our flashback. Amira enters and Saeed tells her that he doesn't know her and wouldn't torture a woman. Sammy hits him. He says that Amira confessed to a crime she didn't commit when her interrogators poured boiling water on her arms. But he goes to grab a metal bar, but Amira tells him enough for today. Kate and back to our island stuff, of course. Saeed and Kate climb down the hatch ladder while Locke watches Mikhail's unconscious body upstairs. Locke, however, hears the computer asking for the next chess move, and he goes to it, leaving his prisoner unsupervised. Bad move, John Locke, you moron! Saeed and Kate see C4 wire throughout the entire underground room. Saeed and Kate see that, and then Saeed sees a shelf lined with binders, one of which is a food drop protocol and another is a operations manual. He finishes another game of chess, this is John Locke, and achieves a mate in 2, which the computer claims is a checkmate. A video clip of Marvin Candle appears and says, manual override achieved. For pallet drop, enter 2-4. For station uplink, enter 3-2. For mainland communications communication, enter 3-8. Locke enters 3-8. A new clip is called up saying the satellite dish is inoperable. Communications are down. For sonar access, enter 5-6. Locke enters 5-6. A new clip says sonar is inoperable. Has there been an incursion on the station by the hostiles? If so, enter 7-7. Locke's finger hovers over the 7 key when Mikhail puts a knife to his neck from behind, stopping him from typing the second 7. Kate and Sawyer and Saeed see I think I typed the same thing twice here. Oops, I don't know how that happened. Anyway, Kate investigates a closet area and is attacked from behind by Mrs. Klug, who we saw previously at the end of season 2. Saeed arrives and tells Klug to drop her gun. Kate hits her, saying she helped kidnap them, and she knows where Jack is. Saeed says Klug if there are any others there, but she acts unafraid, hardly intimidated by the rifle. Saeed and Kate take her upstairs and outside where Mikhail has Locke at gunpoint. Mikhail offers to a hostage exchange, but John claims Mikhail wouldn't kill him. Klug talks and argues with Mikhail in Russian while Kate, Locke, and Saeed shout. Finally, she orders him to do it, and he shoots her in the heart. Mikhail then tries to shoot himself, but is knocked over, and Saeed points his gun at him. Mikhail tells him to finish it, but Saeed doesn't shoot. Hurley finds Sawyer cleaning his glasses. He consoles Sawyer, who claims he was hustled even though he got 3 points. Hurley says he had plenty of practice in his basement and in another place where he hung out. He gives Sawyer back his magazines and tells him he knows he's worried about Kate, but he thinks that she'll be okay, dude, since she's with Saeed and Locke. Sawyer starts to call him a name, but is told he must refer to him as Hurley or Hugo now, and Sawyer tells him to get bent. Saeed takes Mikhail outside and calls Danielle Russo. Mikhail says that he was never a member of the Dharma, but that everything else he said was true and that the Dharma really did attack the hostiles. Sayid tells Daniel Russo that Locke and Kate are gathering anything useful from the station and that now he has their ticket to the other's location where they will find Danielle Russo's daughter and Jack, and perhaps a way home. Mikkel refuses to lead them, but Sayid says that he has a map of the cables which leads to an area called the Barracks, which he believes is where the others are staying. And then Mikkel threatens to kill them the next time that they let their guard down. Danielle Russo says that since they don't need him, they should kill him. Back to our flashback, Amira comes in with a cat. She tells him that when she and her husband came to Paris, she was afraid to leave their apartment until she heard the cries of a cat being tortured by boys with firecrackers, and she felt compelled to rescue it. She has kept him as a pet. She says that many people have it within them to behave like those boys. She asks Sayid to show her the respect of acknowledging what he did and that he remembers her. Finally, Sayid tells her that he does remember her face, that he has haunted him ever since. He weeps and tells her that he is sorry for what he has done to her. To Sayid's amazement, Amira forgives him and tells Sayid she will tell her husband that she is mistaken and should release Sayid. Sayid asks why she would not kill him. She says that sometimes the cat bites her and scratches her, and it does so because it forgets that now it is safe. She does not want to do that or be that. Back to the island, Sayid says Mikkel is his prisoner and that he will not kill him. Locke and Kate join them, and Locke says he knows why Mikkel didn't want him playing with the computer. Suddenly, the station explodes. Sayid demands to know what Locke has done, and Locke tells him that the computer said if there was an incursion to enter 7-7, so he did. Sayid tells Locke that he may have destroyed their only chance of communication with the outside world. As they leave the flame, Sayid notices the cat staring at him, and that's what ends this episode of Lost. So, interesting episode. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Good development for Sayid, of course. He's the character of the episode. Mikkel, I'm going to put the secondary character, and Hurley as well, too. So, you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lost and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please don't forget to Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Lost. What would you rate it, and who would you choose as characters of the episode? And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special, and you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.